Oh, my voice cracked. Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Longbox. I normally don't have conversations on Saturday, but hey, you just started your campaign today, right?
No, it's been going on for a little over a week now, but yeah, it is still pretty new.
Yeah,
but yeah, doing well.
You were on just a couple of weeks ago, so you're coming back. I think you were just about to launch your campaign when you last came on.
Okay, that's possible. Yeah,
hey,
I'm sure you have so many people that you interview. But
yeah, I do 2 or 3 a week. Sometimes I get people confused.
Yeah, I'm sure you get lost.
I definitely get the time zones confused. I mean,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you got your active campaign. I can't even read anymore. This is Dime Store Detective issue 4, and it says 1, 2, and 3 catch-up tier, which is so important.
Yeah,
I gotta look. There's so much stuff I back. Sometimes I back people twice, and then I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get 2 of these? So I gotta check. So
yeah,
how you doing?
Hey,
tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little about your campaign, then I'll bring it up.
Yeah, so I am the writer of Space Cruise and Comic Book issue 1, just is getting fulfilled as we speak. And also, I'm the writer of Alpha Dogs, which I don't know how many people have checked any of my sites, but just yesterday it was made official that Alpha Dogs will be published. I got a publisher for it, Source Point Press. So it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. Can finally say published writer.
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty exciting. And also I'm the creator and writer of Dime Store Detective, which is currently on Kickstarter.
Cool. Are you only on Kickstarter?
Correct. Yeah, only Kickstarter. I found that to be the best platform for me. I tried Indiegogo once, but yeah, I've always been just strictly Kickstarter.
We'll bring up your campaign here.
Yeah.
So this is forgive me. Like I said, I talk to so many people. I sometimes get details and stuff. Is this your only active campaign right now?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh.
This is my only active one. Space Cruising got over with a couple months ago, and I've already fulfilled the digital version, and I'm mailing out. So I fulfill very quickly. This is actually the art of Dime Store Detective is already finished. So people don't have to wait long, but that's cover 8. Great covers from the team at Stone Tower Studio. They just do top work. But that's cover A, and then that's cover B. Got the Barracuda with Dan Mazel, the femme fatale there.
That's very pulpy. This one,
very pulpy.
This one is very like a cult mystery, if you ask me. But this is
just
like pulp.
Definitely, yeah. And this is my throwback noir.
I was got to say this is very noir-y, this one, yeah.
Yeah, and it is noir. So Dime Store Detective, it's about this detective that is on the hunt for a serial killer. The murderer has left his latest victim displayed in this Christ-like pose in the woods over the burial grounds. The detective's father and uncle buried multiple bodies 40 years ago when they were involved with this moonshine war with the Dixie Mafia. In the comic, the pages, this is one of them. Whenever the comic is in color, like so, then that's when we're in the present time, and Detective Donald McIntyre is on the hunt for a serial killer. And whenever it's in black and white is whenever we flash back to when Detective McIntyre was 8 years old, raised by moonshiners. Okay. And back when he was 8 years old, the detective's father and uncle, they're 4 generations of moonshiners, very proud people. And then the Dixie Mafia, this gang, tries to push them out of business. And they end up in this gangland war. The brothers have to find a new hiding place for their still after their last one got destroyed. So it takes place in North Georgia, and the brothers are in the Appalachian Mountains, and they find this hidden cave there. And inside the cave is this trapped evil entity, this supernatural being the Cherokee have been able to trap in the cave for hundreds of years, and the brothers inadvertently release it. The uncle gets possessed, and kind of all hell breaks loose, of course. And then in the present, there's the serial killer has left signs that are remarkably similar to the malevolent being. So the detective has to try to figure out how this evil spirit has returned after 40 years.
Okay. So a little bit of detective story, a little bit of a supernatural.
Yeah. It's I tell people it's kind of like True Detective meets Stephen King's It, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I was trying to articulate the words in my head, and that, you pretty much did it. I was like True Detective meets like, but Stephen King. Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that.
Yeah. So if you like those kind of stories, if you like hard boiled stories, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, I was on Fund My Comic. I just closed out my Fund My Comic campaign.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've never. I don't know much about it. To be honest, the only one I really know is Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I don't know the other ones.
Because the thing about Fund My Comic is the website itself. It's new, and I get nothing from it. I'm not a partner in it, but I went on Fund My Comic, and my campaign did pretty good. I did
really?
$7,000 on it.
Wow, that is awesome.
So I recommend it. First off, Luke is a great guy. The owner of it, he gave me his phone number. We worked out any kinks. I was a first-time campaign guy. Fund My Comic is one of those sites that people who like comics, they go to and they, and it's not so big. Like I'm also on Kickstarter. I'm not getting any traffic on Kickstarter.
Really? Huh? Yeah, I will have to look into that.
Yeah. I consider you a source. I don't own anything. I'm not.
No. Yeah. Well,
but I just want to help everybody out.
Yeah. Prater, if you should definitely check out the trailer. If the book is a great book. It sounds interesting. I can promise you, if you check out the trailer, you're going to really want to back the book because the trailer is awesome.
Okay, I just got to ask: is there any music or nudity or anything that's going to get me in trouble?
No nudity. No.
Okay. All right. Let's play your trailer. Pretty creepy.
Yeah. I wanted to have a real creepy feel to it. So yeah, I think it gives you a lot of tension and some foreshadowing.
One thing it had a lot of I know you said True Detective and Stephen King, but also had a bit of Eyes Wide Shut to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's an occult in the story. Not to give too much of a spoiler, but there's this cult that summons the evil entity. We don't know if it's an alien, if it's the devil, the demons, ghosts. We don't know, and that's part of the mystery of the story.
I'm scrolling through the tiers here. Do you have a tier? Yeah. Oh, this is a digital 1 to 4 digital version.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 4, all 3 covers. Do you have? Oh, here we go. Detective
Yeah.
1. There we go. In
Yeah.
fact, it's not while we're live because I don't need anybody knowing my credit card information. I'm funny that way.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
But this is right up my alley. I don't know what's going on, but in the past 2 years, I've been really interested in detective comics, and I've always been in like a little bit of mystical and now and occult. I'm Hellboy. I'm reading Horace H. Hoover, so this is just hitting all my buttons.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's read it has really enjoyed it. And it's actually the comic that helped me get the publisher too. And when this turns into a graphic novel, they'll be publishing that. So I was liked enough to get a publisher. So
how many issues is how many pages is each issue?
So 2 of them are 24 and 2 of them are 26.
Okay, so
okay.
So for $45, we're getting this is a pretty good deal because
exactly.
Like me to have any of them. This isn't bad. I've seen crowdfunded comics go for $45 that aren't anywhere near this. So I'm always shocked. I've noticed comic books, a lot of them, which I understand because the price of printing is just skyrocketed. But there's people, a lot of them that are asking $15 for a black and white comic. So I think this is a really fair deal with $12 for a 24-page comic. So Luniverse just showed up. This is an occult detective story, murder mystery. Did that encapsulate it pretty well?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right up that alley over. Yeah, I dig that. One of the things I don't know. I'm a sucker for this. Where is the picture that I really liked? Or maybe it was in the trailer and I can't find it. But you had some nice cars.
Yeah. So it's a 73 Barracuda.
Okay, there we go.
So I wanted a car that was kind of a character itself in the story, kind of like the supernatural car or Koepp from Knight Rider. So the 73 Barracuda is a very popular muscle car, and the Moonshiners, of course, had to have the Mopar cars, the muscle to outrun the cops, of course, which was the genesis of NASCAR. So I picked a 73 Barracuda because my dad restored them when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you, is that your car?
I wish it was my car. So the detective's father owns that car to outrun the cops, and it's passed down to the son, and he drives it as a detective in the present day. So it's
cool.
It's got
a car guy, or is this just something you wanted to put in the comic?
Something that I wanted to put in the comic because, like I said, I had an emotional attachment to it because that was the car my dad worked on and loved, and I really loved too. So it's got that nostalgia to it.
My first car was a brown 72 Malibu.
Nice.
It looked similar to that, but it had that cool, early 70s look that they just cars don't look cool anymore. If you ask me.
I know, it's true.
Yeah. But I'm digging the look. I just little things that I was watching. There was maybe it was in the trailer, but I just like the snub nose revolver. It looked real. It looked heavy.
Yeah.
I'm a gun guy. I'm not. My wife, believe it or not, is a car person. She's
okay.
I'm into guns, so I got to show her this. I'm sure she would love the car.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, every campaign I've got more and better backers for every dumpster detective that I put out there. And this one's tracking to be even bigger than the last one. So I'm able to gain backers. So, people are really enjoying the story. It's just me getting my word out there. It's kind of tough, to get people to know about it. That's why I go on and your shows.
Yeah,
so
you got to, buddy. You got to. You know what I mean? This is hard. You know what I mean? There's no more Stan Lee, and I don't want to get all dour about comics, but it seems we got to go out there and get out. And I just happen to enjoy talking to people about comics, so this is fun for me. If I remember correctly, you have a full-time job. You're not a full-time writer, right?
I wish I was a full-time writer. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Those of you who came in late, we talked a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I wish I could recall every conversation.
Yeah,
I'm a full-time Yeah, and
Yeah, no, I'm construction inspector.
That's why. Yeah, because we're both construction workers. That's
yeah. So I go out and right now I'm inspecting a road, putting a road in, and all the fun that goes with that. So that's my day job. And then I go in and with my shirt all, my yellow construction shirt all dirty, to go check my LCS to see how my comics are doing. And so it's definitely probably, it looks strange to have a construction worker bring in his comics to put on the shelves. So
it's funny. I used to, when I was an apprentice, I just used to bring comics to work. And I remember I was reading Captain America 163, but I might have the number off, but it was the first appearance of the Falcon. And I'm just sitting there in a building, you know, it was inside of a building, but we were renovating, just wires out of the ceiling, just crazy. And I'm just sitting there having my coffee, reading the comic. And one of the other construction workers comes up and goes, is that the first appearance of the Falcon? I go, yeah. He goes, what condition is that? I go, it's near mint. He goes, could you, for the love of God, put that away and never bring that up? He goes, you're making me nervous.
That's hilarious. That's cool.
I was like, all right, yeah. We became comic book friends. But I to this day, I never wrote a comic to work again. I was like, yeah, we're not going to bring comic books to a construction site.
Yeah. I was lucky enough. Some of my coworkers have supported me. They backed my Kickstarter, so that's always fun.
That's great.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of guys at work, they know me as the nerdy comic book guy. I'll bring up your campaign again, but I wonder if you had the same problem as me. Like when I was trying to tell them, oh yeah, I'm making a comic, they're opening up their wallet and they were handing me $10. Like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh no, you got to go to this website. Go to a website. Like they really had no concept of crowdfunding. You know, you and I and everybody in this chat and we all understand crowdfunding and what it entails. But a regular normie guy, I really had a rough time explaining, like, oh no, you pay for it now, it'll be out in October and blah blah blah. And a lot of guys like, well, come back to me when you have a comic book in your hand. Like, and they were like, this guy's trying to scam us. So I actually put cards with the QR symbol.
Oh, okay.
With their phone to take it to the website to show you know what I mean? Because when I'm like, oh, you got to go to www.kickstarter, / you know what I mean? Dime Store Detective / Jon Dexter hyphen, you know, they're like, so, you know what I mean? But like, and in a way, I'm glad that I did that because it made me realize how much work we still have to do. You know, like, what we do, you know, you're a construction worker, comic book guy. You know, we have a lot more in common than most.
Yeah,
but it is weird outside of our bubble. You know, so. And you were saying before we went live, your Alpha Dogs is actually getting published. Would you mind talking about that, or?
Yeah. So it's been a long, drawn out process, but we yesterday Source Point Press announced that they will be publishing through Simon & Schuster Alpha Dogs, the trade. They'll do trades. So like, I'm sure and they're very interested in Dime Store Detective. So when that becomes a trade, I'm sure they're going to publish that as well. So it's really exciting news. So anybody, if you know your LCSs, tell them to go to Simon & Schuster to order Alpha Dogs. It's going to be released January 15th.
So that means it's going to be in bookstores?
Correct.
Oh, cool. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So we're not going through Lunar yet or Diamond. Maybe that's in the future, but I'm going to call, and if other customers, you know, anybody here wants to go to your LCS and tell them Alpha Dogs through Simon & Schuster, they can order it.
You don't have to give away your secrets and your connections, but how did you get from crowdfunding to Simon & Schuster publishing your book?
Well, I'm kind of sneaky.
You gotta be. You know what? Do whatever you gotta do, man. So
so Dirk Manning, he's, I don't know if you know who that is. He's a very well known, especially Michigan comic book creator. I mean, he's a very well known indie comic book creator, not just Michigan, but he works for them. I saw him at a Comic-Con. I thought that Dime Store Detective would be right up his alley and Source Point Press's alley, because they like the noir, they like the supernatural. Dirk does a lot of the horror stuff. So I planted the seed. Basically, I gave him issue 1 and 2, which I had at the time, and I say, hey, check it out. Here you go. And introduced myself, and that was that. And then I knew,
oh man, that's what you got to do. That's pressing the flesh. You know, that's
yeah,
that's networking.
So I waited, and it took 6 months for me to see him again. And so I brought him issue 3 and then to ask him if he had read issue 1 and 2. He said he had. He really enjoyed it and asked me if I was looking for a publisher. And of course I was. And I always wanted to work for Source Point Press. And that's why I kind of set it up with him, because they're a Michigan-based comic book company, literally like 2 hours from my house. And I just felt like it would be a great fit for me with my titles. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I don't find that sneaky at all. That's what you got to do.
I guess it was a good setup, man. He doesn't even know that I did this. He probably will know now, but yeah, I had set it all up, and I just acted like it was a big coincidence that, that I had met him there.
Yeah, well, that's I don't know if you know the Paul Thayer, who does a project analysis. He goes to every convention, shakes everybody's hands, talks to everybody.
Yeah,
I joke around, but I'm kind of serious. This guy is like the king of networking. He's like 22 years old. We're all going to be working for him someday. He's he's doing pressing the flesh. I'm sitting in my basement. So, yeah. That's what you got to do. Like I said at the beginning, Stan Lee is gone. We got to blaze our own trails now. So good for you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a long time coming, but it's pretty exciting to look towards the future, and I'm hoping that 2025 will be my biggest year. So we'll see.
Good. Yeah, well, last time you were on, you were talking about star cruising, right?
Space cruising. Yeah, space cruising. Yeah. That's in my hands, actually. I'm sorry.
I said, so that's great. You got 3 different genres working on it.
Yeah, this is the protector there. I just got Space Cruising back from the printer, and I'm mailing those now. So, like I said, my campaigns, they get fulfilled very, very quickly. So, if somebody backs Dime Store Detective, you're not going to be waiting 6 months for your comic. I'm hoping to have it because I want to have Alpha Dogs issue 5 on Kickstarter in October before the holidays. So,
okay, I was looking to see if it showed how many campaigns you had.
This is my 10th, I think.
Oh my God, 10! I thought you were going to say like 4 or 5, 10.
No. This is issue 4 of Dime Store Detective. Then I had 4 issues of Alpha Dogs plus the trade, and then Space Cruising issue 1.
And do you fulfill them yourself, or do you have a service?
Yeah, no, I fulfill them all myself. I'm not that big yet. I don't have enough backers yet to just.
That's the problem you want to have, yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to have that problem.
I was just talking to one of my friends this morning because the Fun My Comic closed down, and he's so excited. My friend, he's like, this is gonna be great. He's like, when the comics show up, he goes, his wife Karen, he goes, Karen and I will come over. He goes, you just buy pizza. Karen can't wait. She loves to sort stuff, and we'll just, you know what I mean. I'm like, oh my God, like he's more excited than I'm nervous, but he's excited, So is that what you do? Like, I don't know. Do you have family that helps you sort, or do you just sit?
My wife, she'll help me. Yeah. Hey, World at War Comics. I still want to do an interview. We were supposed to do an interview, and I got the time wrong. But I see. I see. Got a Space Cruiser. Yeah, the times got switched on me, and I screwed up. So yeah,
I screwed up. But I do it all the time. I double booked last week.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking at the same time. I do that every once in a while. He says, all good. Yeah, World War. Did our talk? Yeah, our talk went live. Who did I've been talking with everybody pushing my campaign. I forget who I talked to. I talk to everybody,
Yeah.
But do you go to conventions now? Do you set up booths and sell your comics?
Yeah, I just got back from Chicago, Fan Expo. It was, you couldn't even move.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I mean, I don't have my comic out yet, so I mean, I'm not going to set up a booth and just be like, hey, But maybe next year I'll set up a booth. How do you like?
I really enjoy them. It's I probably won't. I got to be pickier with the cons because with gas and hotel, but probably won't do the Chicago one again. That was just crazy. But I really loved the Toledo this year, and most of my Comic Cons, I'm usually breaking my old record. So, good thing is it's getting bigger and bigger. So that and the cool thing is I got my trade now, so I can sell the trade and people get it all at once instead of picking up just issue one, sell them on the trade. And, because the trade is improved from I did some work on the issue one and worked that out a little bit. Issue ones are always really tough, so I had always regretted some aspects of issue one, so I was able to fix those.
That Han shot, Guido shot first.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I would you recommend that? Do you think going to trades is the way to go? Yeah, I'm asking if I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to just do trades, but I just can't. I'm not a big enough.
I said the wrong word. Go to cons. Do you think going to cons is the way to go?
I do. I mean, but you got to be picky. I stay away from the small ones. Like I go to the big ones, but ones that aren't like totally celebrity that are really expensive to get in because people. Once they pay to get in, the $45 to get in, once they pay $200 to have a picture with a celebrity, they've only got so much. And at the last one I was at, there so many people. I've never had so many people say, "I'm already blowing my budget," or "I had a budget." So it's like, well, so it is tough, and it. You get some stinkers, you get some good ones. You just gotta wait through. This is only my second full year of going to cons, so I'm still learning as I go. But I like the ones that are, mid-size, so they're not all that expensive, and nothing that you have to drive, or at least you have to get a hotel.
Yeah, once you get a hotel, there goes your whole profit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mac wants to know if you come to New York Comic Con.
And no,
too far away.
Yeah, that's really far. And again, once I'd have to fly, so you have to ship your comics, then you stay in a hotel, and I don't know if I probably would lose money.
Yeah, the way the New York Comic Con is, hotels are out around there $400 a night. You know what I mean? Unless you got a friend, and then it's like an hour, 2 hours commute from the Javits Center to somebody's house. You know what I mean? It's New York Comic Con. I don't know.
Yeah.
Logic Artist, hope you have a great day. Good to see you, Logic Artist. How you doing? Everybody's saying hello. John, you get great guests. I get great guests. I wish I could get great reading ability. You get great guests, and the average guy quest to do all one here. Well done, mate. Thanks. John with the comic. Good. And he's from New Zealand. So what time is it right now in New Zealand? I just remember that he was in New Zealand. I guess Dallin Fedesco, Luna's in Texas. He wants to know if you're going to Dallas.
Yeah, no. No. I'm maybe if I ever got invited, where they paid maybe for the table or something, then
what's your big Simon and Schuster celebrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know really how that works, but yeah, it'd be tough to make it worthwhile with paying for everything. So
yeah, now that you got that, you're gonna be published by Simon and Schuster in bookstores. Is that Amazon also?
Yeah, it'll be on Amazon. So that'll be really cool, and different bookstores, maybe Barnes and Noble. I don't know. It's
and it hasn't happened yet. You just made it. just made the deal.
January 15th is when it gets released.
Okay, I'm real curious to see how well you do, man. I'm rooting for you. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's kind of a shot in the dark.
It'll be good to see construction worker becomes full-time. You know what I mean? Set the precedent for me, buddy. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be.
You are jumping in the holes. I was showing pictures in February. I had hernia surgery.
No.
And then the day I go back to work, the foreman was just like, all right, it was raining, so I had to jump into this pit, and we were picking up the pipes because the supports got washed away from the storm. So the first day back at work after hernia surgery, 55 years old, in a pit of mud up to my knees, holding pipes up so the apprentices can stick weights under the pipes so that we can keep the pipe level before the backhoe comes in. I'm just like, oh man, this is horrible. Right after surgery, and then we work until 2:30. About 1:45, the foreman goes, "Didn't you just have surgery?" I'm like, "Oh, you remembered at the end of the day. Remember at the beginning." Oh my god, get out of that pit! Get out of the pit!
That's terrible.
So if you could set the precedent for construction workers becoming comic book writers and not having to do that anymore, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, the only reason I got into construction work is because I knew I'd have my winters off and then I could write. So that's how I started, and I've been in the field for over 20 years.
You don't have furlough time off. You're not off.
I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the way it works here in New York is every January. Yeah, it's January. No, it's November. They tell us what it's going to be starting January. So in November they're going to tell us. But as of this year, it's 10 weeks off. So we have 10 weeks off. But I've been off 14 weeks because the hernia surgery, and now I broke my neck. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you know what I mean. But I really don't. I've never been injured at work before, so I don't know if I still have furlough time that I have to use once I go back to work. I think I'm all done, which kind of stinks because when my comic was done, I was going to take furlough for 2 weeks and fulfill my books. You know what I mean? But now, But anyway,
I hope 2025 is better for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations on your book, though, man. You kicked butt.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited. We already started issue 2, so I think we're up to page 7 of issue 2, and I just want to, like you said, you don't have a big turnaround. Like you said after your campaign closes, and you're really quick to set everything. I want to do that, and I'm really glad that I was well ahead because broke my neck. My colorist father had a heart attack and open heart surgery, so there were setbacks, but we're still on time. I can only imagine these people who I'll wait till the campaign, see how much money I make, and then I'll start working. And then but you and I have daytime jobs that are paying our bills.
Exactly.
Yes, I am. Logic's finest. AT&T is in a strike down here, so I guess they have time to write their comic books and draw their comic books. And you're right. You hire people, so you have 3 different teams draw your different comics. Yeah.
So Stone Tower Studios, I hired them. They're Argentina. They do the art. Alberto Ramir, he does my drawings, and then I've got a colorist, Lucas Orita, and Lucas Sharita does the lettering. So yeah, they're a great team over there, Stone Tower Studio. They do all of my comics, Alpha Dogs.
Oh, so you have one team doing all. So I was just wondering if you had 3 completely different teams, so you could.
Yeah, no, it's one team, all inclusive. So yeah, they do all my.
Yeah, that gives you a nice consistent look on your books.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have Renzo Rodriguez drawing my books, and I don't, for Heroic Tales, I want Renzo, but I have other titles that I want to work with, a couple other guys that I just can't wait to work with. So you got anything else? You got a 4th book on the work, or a 4th genre? Alpha Dogs is what? I'm not familiar with Alpha Dog. I don't think we've talked about that yet.
Oh yeah, so Alpha Dogs is about this dog that has the ability to heal from any wound. He's smart enough to understand human speech, and he has a heightened strength. Him and his owner are on the run from mercenaries that are attempting to kidnap him to manipulate his powers. It was kind of the genesis of it was we had lived in this town that had decided that it was going to outlaw pit bulls, and we had a pit bull mix.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah, so we moved because we were going to get rid of our dog, and that kind of created the theme of prejudice against dogs, or like people, because of their breed, their size.
That comes up every couple of years. That we got to get rid of pit bulls, and then it goes away, comes back.
Yeah. So it's it's about preconceived notions and prejudice against dogs, people, and it's what basically the theme of somebody's heart that determines their personality, and nurturing and naturing and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of heart, but it's a story for anyone who's a dog lover would really enjoy it, or mystery. There's it's kind of got a lost feel to it.
Okay, is it like a all ages children's book? I mean, it's about
I mean, there are dogs that get bit and stuff.
So it's not a children's book, but it's more.
Yeah, it's not a children's book. I would say like preteen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I think, because when you say preteen, to me that's all age. Like adults could read it and enjoy it, and kids could read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Children's book is Captain Underpants or something like that. But I just didn't know it was, with dogs you could be going for anything. But I think I think all ages is an important way to make books, because I grew up reading comics. I'm reading these Fantastic Four comics now. These are all ages. These are great comics. Adults like them, kids like them. I think especially in crowdfunding, we kind of make the mistake of making more adult-orientated comics, which is fine, but I think comic book readers are skewing older and older and older. So my comic is all ages. So I don't know if you have kids, like if you get Heroic Tales, you and your kid could read it. I'd like to think adults would enjoy it, and a kid could read it too. I mean, it's just kind of the type of story you're wanting to write, and I don't believe in compromising because of wanting to get a certain age group, but I just write the story that it comes to mind. Do you still have the pit bull?
No, he passed actually last year. Yeah, he was. Yeah, there's a tribute page to him at the end of the trade, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so my hope is that the series can kind of continue on and be his legacy. That would be great.
My brother rescued a pit bull. Big, muscular, good-looking dog, and I just think it was abused because it was all like apprehensive. But my brother's a big guy. He's a big biker guy, very imposing looking, and he was very strict with the dog. I don't know, after like a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, it just realized, these people aren't mean. And it became the sweetest, nicest dog. My brother, when they first rescued it, it was, I think they like raised it to be like a fighting dog. It's mean people in the world. I don't really think I'm a dog person. I'm a cat person. So I don't really think that there's like dogs will behave a way because of a need, So I think this dog behaved because of the people that it was. Long story short, the police took the dog away from the original owners, and then my brother rescued it. Another mutual friend is like a quasi-government animal rescue people. I still don't understand what he does for a living, but they take dogs from people who are mistreating animals. And he picked this dog to go to my brother because he knew my brother was looking for a dog, and my brother's got this personality that he will be strict because it could go horribly wrong. It was a big but man, once it became like like a big puppy, and he says that these rescue dogs, they will go through like a second childhood once they realize, I'm safe, everybody is nice. And it was really, really nice to see this huge monster of a dog runs up, flops on the ground, slobbering. babies are crawling on it. My family's got a lot of little kids. I'm one of 7, and everybody's got babies. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't have a troublesome dog in my family. It was really nice. Long story short, I think pit bulls get a bad rap too.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was Dobermans with the bad dog.
Yes, me too. But we had a Doberman that was the meanest dog. It would chase me. So I've always been afraid of Dobermans because our neighbor, the Doberman, would every time you ride your bicycle, man, that dog was after me, and it got me once, but that was about it.
And I remember my friend Joe had a Doberman, and I was scared because of the omen. I don't know how old you are. I remember when I was a kid, the omen. Oh, that's the devil. And, so I was terrified. And then I'd go to Joe's house. They had his name was Angie, and Angie would just jump up, lick your face. It was beautiful. Anyway, I'm a dog person. You got me talking about dogs. RRTNZ just became a member. Thank you. From New Zealand. He's on the other side of the planet. John said he found the Elementals because he played V&V. Yep. The Elementals is one of my favorite comics. And this is my forum. You could check out my role-playing games based on the game Villains and Vigilantes. Which now I got to ask you, do you ever play role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons, or anything like that?
No. Does Catan count? Yeah. I love that game.
Okay. I got to show you something then. Okay. Keep talking. I'm just going over here to show you this.
Okay.
I'm right here. I can still hear, but because I'm a big board gamer.
Okay. Yeah, we have friends.
I love playing board games. I love comic books. And right now, Catan is like the not cool game.
Okay.
I went and I bought the Super Deluxe Collector's Edition of Catan.
Nice.
Everything is clay.
Wow.
It's clay pieces. I think I paid $300 for this when it first came out. This is on eBay now for like $5,000.
What? Oh my god!
Tan and then Cities and Nights, which I've never played. Do you play any of the expansions?
Yeah, I love Catan.
So this does not leave as I drop it. No, I didn't drop it. But this does not leave my basement. So if you want to play the Super Deluxe Premium, handcrafted clay tiles, you come on down. We'll play some.
Yes.
I want to play Catan. My friends don't want to play. They're like, oh man, that game is so old.
Yeah, that's the tough part is getting people.
Yeah, there's a game store right by my house. I walk in and play Catan with people. I like it. And I will tell you this, I never win because I refuse to trade with anybody.
See the rescue dog. That's cool. You should definitely check out Alpha Dogs. He would enjoy my Alpha Dogs, which you can get on the Dime Store Detective Kickstarter. I mean, you'd have to get Dime Store Detective as well, but it's an add-on, or you can get the bundle.
Always sell that. See.
So you should check it out.
I never played Catan. My friends played. I always played Risk as a kid. So, do you play other? You into other board games also, or just Catan?
No, we have friends that are big gamers, and they will bring different board games. Not as far as role playing games, not yet, but now I can't recall this one that's it's stained glass windows, and you fill these stained glass windows in
a board game with the dice.
Yeah,
Sagrada.
Yes. That's a great game. We've been playing that a lot.
My friend Amy taught me Sagrada, and I was like, I didn't want to be mean. I'm like, this is terrible because I like games that are like to tell a story, like very thematic games.
Yeah.
I like to write stories. So when I play games, I'm always turning them into. It's Sagrada is you roll the dice and you put these dice and you pretending that this. I love that game. That was a really clever, fun game.
So that's what played right. That's what we're kind of doing right now. And Everwood.
Okay.
Played that.
Everdell with the
yeah. Sorry,
that's
yeah,
that's a really cute game.
yeah. So we're playing that right now too. So he has to basically
I'm a
keep
freak.
us
I bought the
around.
big box deluxe one with the big wooden tree.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's
If
awesome.
you're gonna do it big.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. If you get, like in my case, if you're gonna make a comic book, hire a legendary comic book artist to do the variant covers and make it really expensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to like you got four? This is your fourth issue of Dime Store Detective, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how many issues of forgive me, Star Cruising do you have?
So there's only one of Space Cruising right now.
It's
like issue 1 was just a few months ago. We talked about that. And then we're on. So issue 5 will be coming up next.
When did you start doing all this? This is a lot of work.
I know, yeah. 2021 is when Alpha Dogs 1 came out, and then a year later, issue 2, and then I just kind of grew exponentially. I couldn't help myself. I just
I'm impressed. I think that's to be commended. You're putting out stuff that you like, and each one sounds like a really different genre. I'm definitely back to Detective. I think I backed the space one. I didn't back Alpha Dogs, but I can pick it up as an add-on right now. So yeah. I
mean, like I said, I'd be hard pressed that you wouldn't enjoy Dime Store Detective. It's really well written, and like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. I've posted a bunch of reviews from people who have posted on their websites or YouTube shows or whatever, and you can look up YouTube and type in Dime Store Detective comic review and check them out. And so it's an enjoyable series, and like I said,
it's funny. You being the writer, and you're gonna like it. It's very well written.
Sorry, I know.
When I tell people, "Oh, my comic book, at least the art looks very nice."
Yeah.
Renzo's a great artist, so for $10, you're getting a very well drawn book. I don't know. I
always
can't
speak the
compliment
truth.
myself.
I'm sorry. It's got a cool style to it too. People really think it's really cool how it's in color. Wherever we're in the present, the detective Mackinder, and whenever we flash back to when the detective is 8 years old, it's in black and white, and people really enjoy that. You won't get confused, even though we're jumping back and forth. But at the heart of the story is really this relationship between a father and a son, because the whole town has just vilified Detective Mackinder's father through the years because of all the murders that take place in 81, and they have kind of pinned on his dad, and not to give too much away, but the son never loses faith in his dad, and it's their relationship and their connection throughout the series that I think people will really enjoy, that have sons or reminisce about their dad growing up, and because his dad is really tough, but a very loving father who sets a great example, even though they're moonshiners and outlaws. It's really about their love for each other and family.
I forget, I asked you, but I don't think you answered. Do you have like a fourth genre in the works? Are you thinking of like
no, I'm sticking to these three. I do have other genres I've written. I was a screenwriter first.
Oh, wow.
And I had written.
You were a screenwriter before construction.
Well, I didn't get paid the screenwriting. I just was a.
Oh, okay. In that case, I wrote a play before construction. I wrote it. Yeah. It didn't go nowhere, but yeah.
So I had written a screenplay called The Weeping Trees. It's a Western. And there's the Academy Awards puts on what's called the Nicole Fellowship. And they take 5 people who's written the best screenplay, and they go to a workshop, and some of them have been turned into movies. Well, Out of the 7,400 people, I reached the semifinals with my script, 2 years in a row. So I had gotten a lot of agents and producers looking at my stuff, but like 99% of screenplays it fell through. But so I turned that into a comic script. I'd love to do as a graphic novel. But
a Western, that is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's a historical fiction. It's a great script. It's about the rubber trees. Back in turn of the century, they had wanted to build a railroad to connect all of Argentina, go through Brazil to get on the rubber boats, because those were the rubber trees. They transport those all over. This was when rubber tires were needed, and they built what was called the Devil's Railway, and there was they enslaved the natives there, and to build this railroad, and over goodness sakes, like over 100,000 rail workers died of malaria and Indian attacks, and over 300,000 of the native Amazonians were murdered because of this railroad that they wanted to put in to connect. So it's about greed, corruption, and there's a cowboy that comes in.
This is a typical Western. This is a South American Western. You know?
Yeah. I mean, when I write something, I want to write.
Really cool.
That's why I do different genres, because I want to write the best script, the best story of that genre.
Oh man!
I'm not saying I ever do, but that's the goal. You know.
And they say that a lot of the guys who wrote Westerns, when Westerns kind of went out of style, turned to detective. So I bet you a couple of tweaks you could turn Dime Store Detective into a Western. You know, I'm not telling you what to do, but there's a lot of the same seeds in both of the genres.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So it's so I want to turn that into a graphic novel.
That sounds awesome. And
it is awesome, but it's very expensive, and I'm just not popular enough yet to where I have enough backers
until everything's selling out on Amazon and
yeah, I mean that's my hope, my dream is that by getting published now, that it kind of is a Wi-Fi signal for me to get my name out there, because it's tough.
Oh man, I was really interested in that story.
Find somebody to pay to have it produced. I'll write it. That's one backer. So it's
I think historical fiction is really, really cool for comics.
Yes, I love historical fiction. There's so few great historical fiction epics out there. I mean, you've got I, Claudius, you've got Lonesome Dove, you've got what's the other one? Shogun. So there's, just a handful. So I would love to write something.
Something tells me that you're a pretty big reader. Have you ever read Creation by Gore Vidal?
No, I've tried Gore Vidal. He's just not for me. I've tried him 3 times.
I don't remember. This is me at my most protected right now. But that's my favorite book. And oh my God, I would love to do a comic book adaptation of that. It's a historical made-up character who travels the world. And Gore Vidal was like, what was going on in the world that within this 50-year period we had Plato, Aristotle, and then we had Zoroaster, and then Confucius, Lao Tse, and I forget the Indian, the Buddha, and another. Yeah. All of these world-changing thinkers within a 50-year period. So he makes up a fictional Forrest Gump who travels from Greece to India to China and back. You know what I mean?
That's great. Yeah. Gore Vidal. He had some really great ideas. I don't know why. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But he's still a brilliant mind. Some of his historical fiction that I keep toying with this. Like, if my comic does well, I have a bunch of other ideas. I always wanted to set like a horror story set in Roman Britain,
You know, like I just how cool would it be to have these Roman soldiers, you know, almost like occult detectives in Rome, and they're putting up the wall, Hadrian's wall up there, and to me, I'm like, they're putting up the wall to demarcate the boundaries between Rome and Britain, and but I'm like, what if it was like a magical barrier to keep the horrors? You know, so that's the seed for this story that I would love to do someday. You know, like
they've really
wall. They think it's a boundary, but it's really we're protecting civilization from Lovecraftian horrors up there in Scotland.
Yeah, they've kind of went away from historical fiction stories nowadays. I guess because they're really expensive, I suppose, and afraid
I'm ready for the superhero movies to end and big glorious
I know
Macedonian movies to start again. You know?
I know that would be great. I think I was burnt out after Endgame. I was pretty much burnt out, but I did go see. I really loved the Spider-Man with the three of them, and I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that was great, but
I didn't see it. I just saw Deadpool 2, which was better than I thought it was going to be. People told me it was.
I started watching Deadpool 2 and I couldn't get through it. I said this is terrible, and I stopped watching it.
It was the Terminator. It was the same. It was the goofy Terminator. Is the way. Comic book Easter egg. I don't know. Maybe my wife and I tomorrow will go see Deadpool. We still haven't seen it yet. So I've been talking to you for an hour about my brother's dogs and moments and stuff. So anything that I did not bring up that you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered everything. If anybody wants to find me, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Real Alpha Dogs. I'm on Instagram at alpha_dogs_comic. And I'm a Kickstarter, so definitely go check it out. If you can click on me and see the trailers for my other books that you can get on the Dime Store Detective Kickstarter. You can get all of my work on there and watch the trailers. Trailers are all awesome to all of my Kickstarter comics.
I'm back in as soon as we go off because I don't need anybody see my credit card information. I got a question from Logic Finance. He always has some good questions. John and John, the both of you, what is your number one favorite book of all time? Mine is Creation. I was just talking about it. It's a book.
I'll have to look into that. Creation. I've never heard of that. Mine's. I know it's probably what 40% of people would say, but The Watchmen. That Watchmen still. I'll never forget reading that. It just blew me away. There's never been a comic that just blew me away. The way The Watchmen did when I read it way back when
The Watchmen came out, that was like, I just remember, like, because people kind of forget the floppy issues towards the end, there was larger and larger gaps. You know, the comic was later and later and later. I think there was almost like a 10-month gap between issue 11 and issue 12. We would go to the comic stores, you know, and I didn't have, this was pre-internet. So we were like, did The Watchmen come out yet? Did The Watchmen? And we would, you know, because of that, we had issue 1 to 11 all loaded up in our brain, read, reread, studied, and we would like discuss it. No, this guy, it was so much fun. I'm with you with that. That's, you know, it's fun to poop on Alan Moore these days, but I still love Alan Moore. You know, comedy, creep, whatever.
His work doesn't seem to drop off some. I mean, and not to say anything bad about the master, but he had some great ones.
That's a great line. I did it 35 minutes ago. You know, that was a great line. What?
that was such a
So now I got to ask you, what did you think of the movie?
I didn't like it. I'll tell you, I don't like these Watchmen. I didn't like it.
I didn't watch the series because the series to me was bait and switch. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't watch any of that stuff. I just watched the movie and hated it. The cartoon that's coming out looks really great. I'll tell you what, they had the live, the motion comic for Watchmen. Yeah. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I did.
Boy, that was so good. I watched that probably like 8 times because the narrator did so did such a great job that I've listened to that more, watched it more than I like to admit, because it was so good.
I saw the Watchmen movie in the theaters with my wife. She wasn't too impressed, but then again, I think we went like 11 o'clock at night till like 2 a.m. It was like a 3 hour. I think she was struggling this week, but I gotta watch it again. You know, this, like now everybody's talking about Alien. I only saw Alien in the movie theaters when I was a kid, and I've never seen it since. So like people bring up, I don't remember that. I bet you if I was to watch Alien right now, it would feel like the first time. Like I vaguely remember certain things. But anyway, we're talking about stuff that has nothing to do with your comic. Dime Store Detective. I'm definitely back in this.
Oh, cool! I appreciate it.
I like the 3 different covers. You know, we got this like full on occult cover. You know, this sets a real tone. But this one, I like this too. This is like sexy pulp.
Yes.
You know? And then this is just full on, you know, truck stop crime noir that you know.
Yeah.
I mean? I'm driving through Texas in the middle of the night, and I pull over and I see a magazine on the shelf. You know, and I like them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. This is the 3 best covers I've ever had with Dime Store Detective by far. They're all so phenomenal. It's tough because, you know, you have the one main title that you try to sell at cons, and it's like, boy, it's so tough to choose because they're all so fantastic.
Well, I'm rooting for it, man. I'm so excited for you to get it. You know, regular bookstores, Amazon. You know, maybe you'll be the trendsetter. The you know, you're the what's the word? You're the herald of things to come. Because
that would be great.
I think crowdfunded comics is a stopgap measure. You know, and I do think
that was my hope.
You know, I wish you success. You know, I hope to learn from a year from now. You know, following your footsteps or something.
Yeah, that would be great. It's
I'm from Wales originally. I've so Lovecrafted hardest live out of the pub. Yeah, it's funny. Well, I don't want to talk about another tangent. I've been going off. But I'm gonna get going. You know.
All right. Let's wrap me on.
I'm back in. This looks awesome.
Thank you.
I just have to. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Just got to remind people that I still have a Kickstarter. My comic is on Kickstarter. Heroic Tales. It's 10 more days to go. I got 45 backers. I Fund My Comic was. I'm telling you, John. Try Fund My Comic. You got really nothing. I did $7,000 on Fund My Comic. You know.
Wow. Yeah,
so
I'll put Alpha Dogs on there.
It has a cult, it has mystery, it has sexy comics. It's not just superheroes. Mine is traditional superheroes, and I'm one of the only people just doing traditional superheroes. But I just want to say, I love this Michael T. Gilbert cover. So right now, this is the only way to get this whimsical Silver Age cover by Mr. Monster, who is an occult investigator. If you know that comic from the 80s and 90s, came out of retirement to do me a cover. So I just wanted to push that.
Now, with Fund My Comic, are you getting new backers? Are they bringing backers to you? Because, with Kickstarter, you're going after, and they kind of help get people. But on the Fund My Comic, do they have like email lists to try to get people to back it?
Fund My Comic, the thing that you're getting out of Fund My Comic is a loyal group of people who I don't know your politics. I don't want to know your politics, but Kickstarter about 5 or 6 years ago just made it known we don't want this political party backing our books.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And they literally were canceling people's campaigns. You know what I mean? So a lot of people who were making comic books were like, now what do I do? So they went to Indiegogo. And then Indiegogo for a long time was the place to go. I haven't tried it yet. And they were having a lot of success. But then Indiegogo started shadow banning people, meaning They would take your money. You could do the campaign, but if you Googled, like if I Dime Store Detective, it would never come up. Like you had to go on somebody's stream or email them directly the campaign link, which I don't understand. It's supposed to be a business. So that Indiegogo people started to get mad. But so out of that frustrations, Luke created Fund My Comic. It is no shadow banning, no politics. He just has a few simple, I think, rules that a lot. He doesn't want nudity. Like if you're scrolling through, because there's little kid comics, there's adult comics. So if you're just scrolling through the covers, he doesn't want big old boobies. You know what I mean? And nudity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they never know if it's a mom and dad looking at the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the comic, but so a lot of people who felt rejected by Kickstarter and a lot of people who felt rejected by Indie just gravitated there. And I'm not going to say I didn't do any work because, I've been talking every day for 3 years, building up a fan base before I released my comic. Mm-hmm. But I would recommend it. And it's only like 2%. He only takes 2% of the money for his site. That's basically nothing. That's basically nothing. But, there's a lot of successful comics. So people looking for Reenie's Fiendish, which is a phenomenal comic, they'll see your comic next to it. Because when I log out of Kickstarter and then I just scroll to see if my comic, there's so much I never stumble by. So it's small enough that every comic book is noticeable, but it's not big enough where it has like a name brand recognition like Kickstarter. But again, I recommend it. To me, really, you got nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to charge you to list a book. Put it up there. Some people,
I'll definitely look into it.
To this day, won't buy anything on Kickstarter.
Wow.
Which is why a lot of big names will go bounce around to all three.
Okay.
I was told by some pretty big people to try all three. Fund My Comic has been amazing for me. Kickstarter, I did 1,000, which is good, but I was told Kickstarter's where you're going to make the money. I haven't tried Indiegogo yet. I'm going to start that up in another week. And then I also have something unique on each site. So I have a variant cover only on Fund My Comic. This cover that I just showed for Kickstarter.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Another cover that's for Indiegogo.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't. Some people told me that it was diluting it. I don't know. This is my first campaign. I'm learning as I go. And here I am giving you advice. Meanwhile, you're going into bookstore. You know what I mean? Consider the source.
No. I think I will definitely look into for my comic. I mean, close up. Nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. And the story I always tell people is the day that I was going to launch, I messed something up. And I went, I was showing my guys at work, hey, here's the card, scan this. The guy scanned it, nothing came up. And I'm like, well, it should say it's not active yet. I'm like, oh my God, the site cracked. I was freaking out. Can you imagine? It's Friday, 11 o'clock in the morning. My comics launch 7 o'clock at night, and it's 4:04. So I called up Luke. I'm at work, coffee break, and Luke is having breakfast. He's like, yeah, how you doing? I'm like, would you stop with the small talk? And like I didn't say this, but I'm like, oh God, I'm freaking out. And Luke's like, oh, I already fixed it. He was just being polite. You know what I mean? But I don't know about you, but I can't get people from Kickstarter and Indiegogo on the phone.
Oh, I know. It's very frustrating at times.
But geez, I've been talking so much I didn't even notice. I always get embarrassed when people super chat me. I don't know what to do. Like, do I don't have to, thank you. I don't have a cutesy animation. I'm so ghetto, I guess is the best word for my channel. But thank you, RRTNZ. New Zealand bucks. Does that have pictures of Frodo and Samwise on it? I've never seen what New Zealand money looks like. But thanks a lot. I'm gonna go have my wife is coming home with some pizza.
Ooh, sounds good.
Saturday night for us. She goes out to her church. She brings home pizza, and now we're gonna watch movies for the rest of the night.
So where you go to get pizza?
Of local New York, there's Paisano's Pizza. There's Lucky Lou's over here. over here. There's another one, but they pissed us off last week because the pizza was raw. Oh God, you can't have raw pizza. I'd rather the pizza a little too cooked than raw. You know?
Yeah.
Everything just falls off. So I'm boycotting them for a couple of weeks. They got to make good. But
Yeah.
And my wife's from Canada, so she likes Domino's. What do you?
Oh man. Oh. All right, man. Well, take care. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck, man. Come back when you got your next campaign coming out. It's always fun to talk to you. And I'm rooting for we'll get a construction guy to
I hope so.
I'm rooting for that, man.
That'd be awesome.